No, actually, I found myself in a really strange situation. You know, I'm an MP and I work pretty hard as an MP, but I'm also a mum and I have 3 daughters. And so any spare time I had, it was cooking, washing, cleaning, ironing school uniforms. It was sitting in my car outside gigs, waiting for them to come out. And I decided that I needed to do something else, really, to spend my time. And I remember I was quite good at English in school. And I remember my English teacher saying to me that one day I should try writing. And the day I left school, I said goodbye to him. And he said to me, this isn't goodbye, because one day I'm going to hear about you again. And he said, you can write. Always make sure that you try and write one day. And so I sat down and I opened the laptop. And I didn't know what I was going to write. And that book literally just transferred itself onto the laptop. I showed it to a friend, Vicky, and she knew a literary agent. She took it away. She said, I'm going to read your book, and she took it away on holiday with her. And then she texted me and she said, my God, I can't put this down. I've opened it on the beach, and it was just in A4 sheets really, all stapled together. And she said, I just can't. I've told Mark to go and look after the kids so I can read it. And then she phoned me when she came back from holiday. She said, we've got to show this to somebody. And she took it to a literary agent, who then read it. And I remember exactly where I was when he phoned me. I remember his words. I thought he was going to phone me and say, well, thank you, but no thank you. This isn't terribly good. And he said the opposite of that. And he said, I really want to go out to publishers with this. And then he phoned me back a few days later and said, I've been made an offer by a publishers to take it from auction so that they have exclusive rights over it. However, this is the interesting tale. Because I'm quite a controversial MP, the literary agent didn't tell the editor that he showed the book to from the publishers who it was by. And I got a copy of the email where she said, please, Piers, you have to tell me who's written this book, when she was part way through it. And he went back and told her it was me, because of course the publishing world is very lefty and I'm a Conservative MP, and he felt it might be damaging to let them know who I was to begin with. And so actually the book was initially judged by its merit, not by who I was. Oh, well, okay. The Telegraph asked Christina Adoni to review my book, which she did, and she loved it. In fact, her words were she couldn't put it down once she picked it up. The Telegraph didn't like that. So because they asked somebody, a reviewer called Christopher Howes, I think, a Latin scholar, I believe, but also an ex-member of Opus Dei, to review my book. Well, one of the main characters in my book is a child-abusing priest. I'm not sure, and it also excoriates the Catholic Church. So I'm not sure asking a Catholic ex-member of Opus Dei to review the book is exactly a balanced review. And he wrote a very nasty review of the book, which is interesting because a lot of journalists have piled in with emails to me. In fact, Anne Treneman of the Times has written and said if he says that it's the worst book he's read in 10 years, he hasn't read a book in 10 years. And so, I've had a lot of very supportive and positive feedback from other journalists who have read it. The sad thing is that left-wing press, like the New Statesman and the Independent, have just picked it up and copied him. But, I'm not interested in what the Telegraph say. And the publishers are quite delighted anyway, because they say the worst thing about a book is when no one's talking about it and it's silence out there. Everyone's talking about my book. It doesn't matter what they're saying. If they're talking about it, that's fine. But the interesting thing about this particular guy at Telegraph is he really threw his toys out of the pram because we caught him out. And he obviously didn't know or didn't think that Christina would, we women stick together. He obviously didn't know that she would communicate with me and that I wouldn't know that her review had been rejected. But Christina herself posted on Twitter, I was asked to review this book for the Daily Telegraph. I couldn't put it down. But he actually, before she posted that, was literally just going for it, hell for leather on Twitter, scaring my publisher slightly, who's a young girl. he was actually attacking her on Twitter over and over again in a slightly, psychotic way, going for me. She was upset, and I said, OK, we're not having tonight spoilt, which is the launch party. Tell him he's not coming. So we told him he wasn't coming, and anyway, it made him even worse. And then he started to say on Twitter, nobody was asked to review this book. Christina O'Doney was not asked. And Christina went bang, straight onto Twitter. I was asked to review it. I couldn't put it down. And then he went off in a huff saying, oh, I don't know about you, but I, for one, am particularly bored with this honourable member now. Well, stop talking about it then, So, and that's what happened. And Ian Dale has done a very, very good and very fair summary by going through the tweets on Conservative Home today, which is quite funny, actually, because he's really exposed Tim Walker at Telegraph for the bully that he was. Bully me, don't go bullying a 20-year-old girl who's working in her first job, a 21-year-old girl working in her first job in a publisher's. Don't do that, because if you do, I'll fight back.